Hi Gastro Pals, hope you're all keeping safe and well. Well, today I'm going to do chicken biryani. I was asked to do this by Anju Valia, hope I said your name right, Anju, who asked me in the comments at the chicken tikka masala recipe that I did in the PKP if I would do chicken biryani. So I apologise, it's taken me a bit of time to get to a point of doing this because I've been on a keto diet, which is basically no carbs, but I'm now off that keto diet, so I'm going to do chicken biryani today. So let's get in the kitchen and get started. So to get us started off, I've put a cup of plain low-fat yoghurt into our mixing bowl. And into this we're now going to put 1.5 teaspoons of garlic powder and 1.5 teaspoons of ground ginger. And we're also adding in 1.5 teaspoons of Garam Masala. Now into that we're going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. Well, roughly a teaspoon of turmeric. And now we're just going to add in some cayenne pepper. Now, depends on how much you like. As I'm making it just for me, I'm going to use about 1/2 teaspoon. But you may want to adjust that yourselves. And then some lemon juice, which I'm adding in 2 teaspoons. And now we're going to whisk all that together. Because this is our marinade for our chicken. Okay, so it's time to get messy and add in our chicken thighs. I'm putting them in there whole. Now, I'll be honest, I've never done this particular recipe before, and I did search it up, and I also did look at it in my Indian cuisine encyclopedia that I've had for literally years, and it's quite exciting to actually get to use that and some recipes on the internet and combine them all to actually come up with this. So I'm hoping this is a winner. Right, so now I'm going to set that to one side to marinade. And this is the fun bit, because I have to do all this one-handed still, even with my tripod, because I need to keep a clean hand to switch this off. I've not had the PKP out in quite a while, so it's a bit of a learning curve, but what I've done is I've put a little knob of butter in here and put it on the stew function to melt the butter, and then we're going to saute the onions. In other pressure cookers there's a sear and saute mode, but in the PKP it's called the stew function with the lid off. So we can see the butter's bubbling away nicely, so it's time to put the onions in. There we go. Right, it's just turning the pot round there because there's a minimum marker, which is where the minimum amount of fluid has to be before you put it on for pressure cooking. And I just need to keep my eye on that, because obviously, as I'm only making this for two, it might be a little bit below that, so I need to make sure that it's not. nicely softened now. So I think we can safely say we can switch that off now and get on with the next part of the recipe. So we're adding in our rice, which we need a cup of rice, which I've only just put in half a cup there. Don't know why I did that. So, cup of rice. And then that's our stock. And now we're going to add in our chicken and the marinade. Yeah, that comes up to the minimum level on our PKP, so we're ready to rock and roll. So now I just need to find what I did with the PKP lid, put it on, set it to pressure cook, make sure the valve's sealed, and away we go. On with our lid. Right, take me a little bit to work out what to do with the PKP because it's been a long time, good couple of years I think, since I did a PKP video. So in the Pressure King you need to put it on to stew, and I've set it up for 10 minutes, valve to closed, and I'll see you in 10 minutes and let's see what happens from there. So we're venting now after 10 minutes, and I'll check the chicken, see if it's cooked. If not, and obviously the rice of course as well, and if not, we'll put it back on again for another 10 minutes and keep going till it is. Okay, so the lid's off. Everything looks like it's cooked. I'm just going to check it, and I'll be back in a second. So it wasn't the rice wasn't quite there. Chicken was cooked, the rice wasn't quite there. So what I've done is I've added a little bit more water in and put it on the stew mode just to give it another 3 or 4 minutes cooking the rice. I probably should have followed the Jamie Oliver method, to be honest, but hey ho, you live and learn, eh? So here it is. Our chicken biryani cooked in the PKP, and it is absolutely delicious. So that's how I cooked chicken biryani. Probably not a traditional way, so I apologise for that. And I mixed and messed around with a couple of recipes in order to get what I needed, and definitely it needed just a couple of more minutes pressure cooked, and probably just a little bit more fluid to get the rice to the consistency that it needed to be, i.e. not bullet hard like it was when I first opened the pressure cooker. So it's one of those things where you adjust, adopt, adapt and improve, and it just goes to prove how adaptable the PKP and any pressure cooker can be if you know what to do next. So it came out, the chicken was cooked but the rice was a little bit dry. We put a little bit more water in, put the lid back on, and off it went. Anyway, I'm loving this. So all that remains for me to say is bon appetit. See you next time. Take care.